This program is brought to you by Emory University.
In my juvenile delinquency and criminology class, I guess the central thing that I focus on are the major theories or major explanations for crime. And the big takeaway point that I want students to get is that there are a few fundamental theories of crime, focused for the most part on those environmental factors that contribute to crime. I teach in the sociology department, so we focus on the social environment, but I also spend some time discussing some of the psychological and biological factors that contribute to crime. But I focus on the four leading theories or explanations of crime. One of them, strain theory, where I do most of my work, but also control theory, which argues that crime results from a breakdown in social controls, from a breakdown in direct control. So some people are in environments where the likelihood of being sanctioned for crime is quite low. From a breakdown of what's called stake and conformity. Some people have little to lose by engaging in crime. They don't have close ties to conventional editors. They don't have good jobs, good educations, positive reputations in the community. So they have little to lose if they engage in crime. Also by a breakdown in conventional beliefs. Some people weren't socialized to condemn crime. I focus on social learning theory, which argues that to some extent individuals learn to engage in crime from the others, especially peers, but to some extent family, neighborhood residents, the larger media. They learn, for example, certain beliefs that are favorable to crime, that justify or excuse crime, that are exposed to criminal models in their environment who they then imitate, and that are in environments where they're sometimes reinforced or rewarded for crime. And then I also focus on what's known as labeling theory, which argues that some individuals, when they do engage in crime, that are subject to a rather harsh rejecting reaction. That are arrested, they're placed in prison, that are viewed as outcasts, conventional people don't want to associate with them, they have trouble finding legitimate work, etc. And this harsh rejecting reaction, in many ways, that ends up backfiring and increasing the likelihood that they will continue to engage in crime. And so that's the major takeaway point that I want the students to get. So we spend a fair bit of time reviewing these theories, reviewing the evidence on these theories, and especially applying these theories. So I ask, for example, that the students do what I call an application exercise, where they focus on some personal experience or maybe something they've read about, heard about in the media. They describe that in class and then they apply the theories to it. And so the other students hear this, they engage in the activity themselves. On the exams that I give, I often ask students to apply the theories. I ask them, for example, to use the theories to explain why it is that spanking increases the likelihood of subsequent delinquency somewhat, or why males are somewhat more likely to engage in delinquency than females, and so on. So the theories are regularly emphasized in the class. That's not the only thing that's emphasized. We talk about the other topics as well. We talk about, for example, efforts to control crime and delinquency. But even there, I still emphasize these theories. I make the point, for example, that efforts to control crime and delinquency are going to be successful to the extent that they address the causes identified by those theories.
The preceding program is copyrighted by Emory University.